This is obviously a very challenging internal situation in Russia. This is the head of a significant military, paramilitary organization in the Wagner Group, taking some bold actions, challenging the regime. We are watching, of course, and we are reflecting carefully on what the implications could be either in Ukraine or elsewhere along Eastern Europe, including in Latvia, where Canadians are stationed right now. But we also know that this is something that the Russians will be dealing with over the coming days. I think we need to make sure that we are not facilitating the liberal use of propaganda and disinformation that we know the Russians tend to do, and staying carefully monitoring and watching but not getting involved, I think, is the responsible and safe thing to do.
The events over the weekend are an internal Russian matter, and yet another demonstration of the big strategic mistake that President Putin made with his legal annexation of Crimea and the war against Ukraine. As Russia continues its assault, it is even more important to continue our support to Ukraine.
We see the weakness of the Russian regime, and it also demonstrates how difficult and dangerous it is for President Putin to be reliant on mercenaries. That has actually turned against him.
The situation began to develop as it did. I directed my national security team to monitor closely and report to me hour by hour. I instructed them to prepare for a range of scenarios. I also convened our key allies. They agreed with me that we had to make sure we gave Putin no excuse. Let me emphasize, we gave Putin no excuse to blame this on the West or to blame this on NATO. We made clear that we were not involved. We had nothing to do with it. This was part of a struggle within the Russian system. I also talked at length with President Zelensky of Ukraine. I'll be keeping in contact with him. I may be speaking to him later today, early tomorrow morning, to make sure we continue to remain on the same page. I told him that no matter what happened in Russia, let me say it again, no matter what happened in Russia, we, the United States, would continue to support Ukraine's defense and its sovereignty and its territorial integrity. We're going to keep assessing the fallout of this weekend's events and the implications for Russia and Ukraine. But it's still too early to reach a definitive conclusion about where this is going. The ultimate outcome of all this remains to be seen. But no matter what comes next, I will keep making sure that our allies and our partners are closely aligned in how we are reading and responding to the situation. It's important we stay completely coordinated.
你提到的这个瓦格纳集团的事件是俄罗斯的内政。作为友好邻邦和新时代全面战略协作伙伴，中方支持也相信俄罗斯能够维护国家稳定，实现发展繁荣。中俄各层级保持着密切良好的沟通。
Yes, I've spoken to the leader of the United States, but also France and Germany over the weekend. We're completely coordinated on our response to this. It's a situation that we've been monitoring for some time, the instability that would be caused by Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine. And what we saw over this weekend is an example of that coming to the fore. It's obviously too early to predict with certainty what might happen as a result of this, but I'm in close touch with our allies and we're monitoring the situation closely.